Hi, I'm Peter Rose, founder of Longwood Currency Trading. Today's a walk in the woods with Peter. I don't feel like trading. If I trade, I'm going to get myself into trouble. So I thought instead I'd come out here and check the condition of my wood pile for the winter. This is mid-March of 2024, so I've still got a little bit of wood from this last load that I dropped, and the load came all the way up into here. And as you can see, I've got wood for next year. Isn't that wonderful? What's that got to do with trading? Well, again, I'm not trading. I think that's the beauty of being a successful trader, is that you're not compelled to have to trade for your income or money or whatever. Look, I'm retired. I don't need the income from trading. I trade because I enjoy trading. I love it. And when I trade, I'm all in. I push the boundaries. Sometimes I lose a little too big than I should, but that's okay because I'm not compelled to trade, nor should you be. I think that too often we get so wrapped up in this idea that you're going to take a $10,000 account, you're going to run that to job replacement income. Well, you might be able to do that, but it's going to take you years and years and years and years. Just exactly how much of a reasonable percent return on your money do you think that you're going to get? You have the best traders in the world, in Simmons, Steinhardt, Giffen, you know, the list of traders just goes on and on. Paul Tudor Jones. Over long periods of time, these guys do 25, maybe 30%. But they also have periods where they run 13 trades in a row negative, big time. And their earnings drop by as much sometimes as 20%. So everything being equal to things, we should be able to get better than 25% returns on our money because we're not dealing with hundreds of millions of dollars. We're not pushing ourselves around as we load size in. We just simply, we're the dog. We're not the dog in this, we're the tail. So the dog is going to wag us. So all we can do is hang on to the tail and scrape 5 or 10 pips and then step to the side. You can't get your bowels in an uproar over any of this stuff because it only leads to frustration. You can't possibly have a good mindset for trading if you're worried about making tomorrow's mortgage payment. And you won't be successful if you are trying to take 10 grand and run that to $100,000 in a few years. So is that possible? Yeah, it's possible, but that's really like people are going, wow, that's just unbelievable. You get it 10 times on your money. But that's real experience. And if you want to look at it statistically, it's an outlier. What can you do? What can I do? What's reasonable for returns? Because as soon as you start pushing it, you expect more. And when you don't get more out of that trade and it goes against you, what do you do? You hang on to it. God knows I've done that enough. I've lost... Oh, man. Last year I had a 6-figure loss. One freaking trade. You can't do that very often. I mean, I've still got 6 figures. I'm still trading. I'm not afraid. I know I have the skills to do things right. After that 6-figure loss that I took last year, I held that son of a bitch from January. I took that trade in January, and I held that all the way until July, mid-July. Now finally I said, I just can't take this anymore, and cut it. I just cut it. 6 figures, gone. Boom. But in the next, let me see, it was July, August, September, October. Yeah, in 3 months and 3.5 months, I made $90,000. Now that didn't eradicate the 6-figure loss, but it was $90,000. And I'm unafraid of trading. I don't need it to pay my light bill. I don't need it for my mortgage payment. I'm trading for a different purpose than what I teach. I teach reasonable expectations and when to put your foot to the pedal and push it. And not to the extent that I do. You don't do that until you've got... Look, I've been studying the currency market since 2007. I've been studying the overall financial markets since the mid-1970s. This is 2024. I've done... well, my career has been based around solving complex problems. So you don't have that experience. Maybe someday you will. But for reasonable purposes, you just can't do that. You have to be practical in what you're doing. And when it doesn't feel right, or you don't feel right, just step back from the trading platform. What have you got? What's the purpose sitting there and pushing it? You have a much higher probability of failure when you push it at the wrong time than you would have ever making any money. And even if you are successful, the amount of money that you make is probably not going to be in proportion to what you risk. So even though you might not have lost anything, you certainly didn't win a reasonable percent of what you should have. What's a reasonable percent? I don't know. What am I going to do? Tell you 400%, 40%, 4% a year? You know, that's up to you. At a certain point, you have to realize that you're not trading for dollars. You have to trade for pips. And it's the value of the pip that creates the dollar value based on the size of your bank that you're putting at risk when you trade. Some guy that trades at 500 to 1 or 200 to 1, and they make $1 million, and they're driving around in their Lambo. Maybe the Lambo's rented. I don't know what they're doing, but they're not trading with that whole amount of money because they know that they got lucky. And if they don't, they're stupid, and you won't see them on YouTube very long. That's why these guys that make all this money are going into real estate. Why in the hell would you go into real estate if you're able to make $20,000 a week trading currencies? Why would you put your money? I spent 40 years in real estate. I know real estate like the back of my hand. I lost $1 million twice in my life because of economic collapse in the real estate market. I know real estate. It took me, I made the $1 million back each time, but as I said, it took me 10 years to do that each time. So I've got a 6-figure account, and in that period of time, that 3.5 month period of time that I told you about, I made $90,000. Well, so what? As Joseph Gibbons, who was a pit trader in the Chicago commodity pits, said, it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. So I didn't keep that $90,000 because I pushed it again, as I was saying. I might not have finished that statement, but most of that went back into the ether. But that's okay. It's just a game. You push money around. It's a commodity that you push around. It's a game. You play by game theory rules. Doesn't make it gambling. It's only gambling when you sit at the table and push your luck. When you throw caution to the wind and you trade at 200 to 1, hoping the trading gods on that particular Tuesday are going to look down upon you, and they're going to smile and wave their hand, and you're going to take that $10,000 and run it to $40,000, and then you're going to take the $40,000 and run it to 100, and then you're going to take the 100 and you'll get $200,000 or $300,000. But at some point, the trading gods will look away and you will lose it all. I guarantee you will lose it all. These guys that make all this money, the only way they keep it is to get it out of the market because they know the odds are against them. They got lucky. That's why they're going into real estate. That's why they're divesting their money into S&P 500 Vanguard fund. That's why they're buying exotic cars and watches. They're not buying watches for the bling. They're buying watches because, well, up until recently, a watch was an appreciating asset. A $300,000 car was an appreciating asset. That's not the case right now. Watches are in tough shape. Once you accomplish something, what's the point of us trading in the currency market? For shits and grins? No, it's not. It's to make money. Well, once you have a skill at cranking out, I've had months where I've made $30,000 a month. You go back in my videos, and I think it was 2022, it might have been 2022, I don't remember, but I had 3 months during that year where I had $30,000 months on a six-figure account. This January I had a $19,000 month, and February I was at a little over $10,000. So I mean, $10,000 a month is not significant enough to really jump up and down about, unless you're coming out of a low management level job or a clerk and you've saved your money and got all that stuff up. $100,000 a month in taxes and stuff, that's a $100,000 a year job. A software engineer makes $100,000 a year. So you, with the education and skills to play the market, and as far as practical skills in the working environment out there, maybe you're a line person up on the electric poles fixing stuff, or maybe you're an auto mechanic, or you're a barista at Starbucks and you're making minimum wage or whatever you're doing. You could make $100,000 a year if you have enough money to put to it. Not because you're making more dollars, it's just that you're making consistently number of pips, which translates to higher dollars because you've got more money in your bank. Don't think that you're going to make $100,000 a year on a $10,000 account. The walk in the woods is good for me. It clears my head. It enables me to breathe in the fresh air and get rid of the crap that's in there. And little Ed, who sits here on my left shoulder and whispers in my ear to do stupid shit, has now been quieted. It's cold out here, even mid-March of 2024. So Ed is scurried away. He's no longer whispering in my ear to do stupid shit. So I can go back inside and I can look at the trading platform and I can say, I'm not going to trade for the rest of the day because I don't have to. That's my strength. I don't have to. Even if you're not quite successful as you feel you need to be, even if you're only making $400 a month on a $10,000 account or something like that, it's not life-changing income, but you're just trying to get the light bill paid to gain your skills and stuff. It doesn't make any difference. You have to have the confidence and the ability to step back from the table. Otherwise, you're an alcoholic. You're going to sit there at the bar and you're going to order another round. And before you hit the door, you're going to slug one more down. Don't do it. Don't be trapped into this wonderful market with this great opportunity and turn it into a shit fest just because you don't have any personal control over yourself. And that's Peter Rose's walk in the woods on a chilly March morning in 2024. Remember, you're in control of your life. We may be the tail that some other dog is wagging in this currency market trading, but that doesn't mean that our personal life has to be wagged as well. Peter Rose, Longwood Currency Trading. Have a great day and have a great trading day.